now we're going to go through the process of turning the railroad on and letting the Raspberry Pi boot up, and we'll see a lot of that action on the monitor, I hope, if it comes on, and we'll be able to see JMRI come on, and JMRI will go through its process of bringing up Y-throttle, web server, a few other screens, and then about 2 or 3 minutes after that, the railroad would be ready to use. On the Raspberry Pi itself, I have it extended up here so you can see there's a couple little teeny tiny LEDs that will light up as it's processing its software, and I believe there's a green one that will start flashing or be on when it's ready to go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the railroad on. Again, right now it's on a power strip that's underneath the railroad. We'll eventually have a switch out here to make it easier to turn that power strip on. Let me see if I can find it. All right, so there's our red light coming on the Raspberry Pi, and the green light blinking. Is this on?
Yes.
Okay, so it should be showing like a Raspberry Pi symbol right now. So that means that the Raspberry Pi is pulling its software, required software, off that SD card, and it's starting to boot up. Pretty soon, all right, now we have JMRI coming up, so the Raspberry Pi has now decided that it can load JMRI, and we'll watch this for a little bit. This is why it takes 2 or 3 minutes, because we don't have a hard drive on the Raspberry Pi. So there's nothing spinning up. It's not going very fast because it has to go back and forth between the processor on the Raspberry Pi to the SD card, pull software back and forth, and then it'll find it. Okay, now see, we have some of the screens for the JMRI showing up. I believe this is the web server. There's our control screen. Right down here is one of the screens for a panel. We will start building the panel, which will actually have our track plan on it. So at this point, JMRI came up, it identified the command station, and at that point the command station was controlled by JMRI, and it ran the script, and it moved, I think, 3 or 4 turnouts to set it up for the control loop. So we should be good to go. So what the next thing we want to do is have someone bring up the Y-throttle or engine driver on their phone and try to run a train. And I think Mike was going to try to do that. So what Mike will do is he'll look at his Wi-Fi available networks. And anybody else that wants to try to do this at the same time, that'll be fine.
Now we're at the password.
And you'll go and find the available network, and you'll choose that, right? And then
You have to put the dash in?
yeah. So let me hold this up
Okay,
for everybody. Here's the password. Again, it's RP capital I dash lowercase JMRI, and that's the password. Mike's going to pull up and log in with locomotive number 7424. And there we go.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so Mike's going to stop the train, and so let's say he's done for the night, right? He's going to want to release the train from his Y-throttle after he sends the speed down to 0. All we want to do now is turn off the AC power strip, and I'll go do that, and you'll see this stuff disappear. I beg pardon. When you're done for the night, you would go at the end of the layout and turn off the accessory outlet switch that's on the wall. And then we're done. I appreciate everybody attending, and thank you very much.
Thank you.